All right. Happy first Friday of the June, everyone. We're back with another community call, this time for June 2026. And as always, we're going to be recapping everything that happened in the Bob ecosystem, on the Bob app, in the Bob community for the last 4 weeks. It has been a very busy, productive, and successful month for Bob. And it is my pleasure to introduce Alexei, who is going to be summarizing all of the key updates, progress, and a few shout outs on the community side. And as always, make sure you retweet, quote tweet, like, and share it with your friends. It is going to be recorded. It is a live stream that will remain on Bob's X and will also be uploaded on Bob YouTube. But yeah, make sure you keep your eyes in. If you have any questions, I'm always reachable on Discord and Telegram. And yeah, hope you enjoy the recap. So, Alexei, why don't you take it away?
Thanks. Welcome to the monthly community call. We'll dive right in. It's been a very busy month, so we'll go through our monthly highlights first. Then there's more product updates that we'll cover that didn't make it into highlights, but are still quite cool. And then there's also a few updates from the community and from the governance side. So as a reminder, as we do each time, what is Bob building? Bob is building the Bank of Bitcoin. So our mission is to build the rails to allow people, users, Bitcoin holders to use Bitcoin for their personal finance needs without relying on centralized counterparties and exchanges. We started by really focusing on solving the problem of Bitcoin trading, making sure that you can swap your Bitcoin against stablecoins and other assets in a non-custodial way across different chains without relying on a centralized exchange, and providing a better experience and service than Binance. In parallel, there's research and ongoing efforts on the lending side. We've previously published and revealed quite a bit of research on how to build native Bitcoin lending products. And in parallel, the ultimate vision is to package this into a consumer-friendly app and make it very easy for new users who are coming into crypto, who will primarily onboard through Bitcoin, to hold BTC, other assets, and essentially build generational wealth, long-term invest into Bitcoin without dealing with complex passphrases and so on. Now, monthly highlights. First of all, and that's really, really cool, we teased it last month, it's here. Bob Gateway now offers the cheapest Bitcoin to stablecoin routes across all major chains. We have released a website where you can check this. I think we can post the link separately, or it's going to be on the next slide. We've collected data over 21 days for Bitcoin to USDT swaps on every across Near Intent, Garden, Thorchain, and Bob is the best. Especially the larger the swap, the bigger the Bob advantage becomes. And that's primarily due to some higher gas costs on Ethereum right now, where a lot of the routing logic is processed, right? The cool thing about Bob Gateway, it's chain agnostic at this point, and we have extended our deployments to also support Ethereum as a routing hub, because Ethereum has a lot of deep liquidity, a lot of other bridges are connected to Ethereum, so we can this way always provide the best pricing for users. The way this works is, as a reminder, Bob Gateway is built on Bitcoin intents. So if you want to swap Bitcoin for USDT or for XAUT or for something else, you go to the app or you connect to the API, you make a request, you get a quote, you accept the order, you send your Bitcoin to the provided address, and then the solvers and the smart contract routing logic delivers to you whatever asset you wanted, whether it is USDT on Ethereum or XAUT on another chain or WBTC in a DeFi position on Aave. This is all customizable and works with just one Bitcoin transaction at the best rates. So this is really, really cool. And please reshare this, let your friends know if you want to swap Bitcoin, whether you're selling or you're buying, depending on what you're doing in the current market. Bob has the best rates. You only need the wallet. You don't need to sign up. And the prices are better than on Binance. And also the speed is better than on Binance. You don't like the comparison to centralized exchanges, right? If you want to go to centralized exchange, you need to deposit, then you wait until your funds arrive, then you have to trade, and then you have to withdraw. With Bob Gateway, you make a single transaction. You connect your wallet, whether it's your Ledger or your MetaMask or your OKX wallet or whatever. You get make the request, sign the transaction, send the Bitcoin, or deposit the USDT, depending which way you're going, and you're done. Another update is that we have now also added support to EVM-to-EVM swaps. So previously we focused primarily on Bitcoin to EVMs, so Ethereum and other chains. Now we have also added support for EVM-to-EVM asset trading. Currently, we started with a few trial assets being USDT to XAUT, XAUT to PAXG, so the two tokenized gold assets, following our recent campaign around tokenized gold, and also USDT to PAXG. We will be adding a lot of more assets on the EVM-to-EVM trading side. The goal of this feature is so that you don't have to switch to another interface to do your normal day-to-day trading between stablecoins and blue chip assets that exist on Ethereum, on Arbitrum, Base, BNB chain, and soon also Tron and Solana, right? You can also do this on the BOB side, and what we do is we aggregate the best routes, we find the best price, and deliver this to you together with our partners. This is a convenience feature. The core logic of BOB and core focus remains on Bitcoin swaps, but this way, as a user, you don't have to, go to BOB to swap Bitcoin and then go to another platform to swap something else. We can provide you with a unified trading experience at the best prices, so you can conveniently use the BOB app to do or to cover all of your cross-chain trading needs. Another highlight is that we launched the BOB Inner Circle. The BOB Inner Circle is a program where we onboard a maximum of 150 people over the next couple of months to help us build better products. This is a small, carefully selected group of power users or very interested Bitcoin holders and Bitcoin users. The ask is help us give feedback on product features, tell us what you're missing on existing products and other platforms. Help us understand what you want, which features you'd like to have built, and understand how people use Bitcoin from your perspective. And in return, you get free swaps on BOB Gateway, so you don't have to pay any fees when you trade. And there's additional rewards unlocked depending on how engaged you are with the platform. You have a direct channel to us on the team and the founders. You get a first look at all new major releases, and we'll also be looking to host VIP events around conferences for this BOB Inner Circle, and also look to then bring you new opportunities in the Bitcoin space as they arise. So if you're interested, sign up at vip.gobob.xyz. We have started onboarding the first batch. You should typically hear from us within the first 2 weeks. We've got quite a bit of interest here, but we definitely would love to talk to you and to onboard you if you're a Bitcoin power user, if you're trading a lot cross-chain, if you're borrowing against your Bitcoin, if you are using a Bitcoin backed credit card, or you want to use a Bitcoin backed credit card and have experience using crypto credit cards as well. So sign up under vip.gobob.xyz, join the BOB Inner Circle program, help us build the best Bitcoin consumer products, and benefit from the best product features for free. Now, product updates that didn't make it into highlights. It was a very busy month on the engineering side. We shipped a lot. So in addition to EVM-to-EVM swaps and shipping the best BTC to stablecoin and in general BTC to almost any asset rates on the market, we have now also added support for Arbitrum. So now if you want to trade Bitcoin against essentially any asset, but currently we support on our front end USDC, USDT, WBTC, and ETH. If you want to trade these assets on Arbitrum and you're coming for Bitcoin, or you want to sell USDT or USDC Rapid EC on Arbitrum into BTC, BOB app has the best prices. The BOB API has the best rates, and you should definitely check it out. We also added new assets on existing supported chains. We added support for cbBTC, which is the up-and-coming wrapped Bitcoin asset by Coinbase. And we also added support for BNB on the Binance Smart Chain. We'll be adding a lot more assets now on a weekly and monthly basis. So you'll see a lot more updates here. Probably next month, we'll have a whole table of assets that will be listed because we've been accelerating now very, very quickly. After the last major upgrades, we're now super fast to add new chains, new assets, and we'll continue listing blue chip assets as trading pairs against Bitcoin, but also among each other to provide the best Bitcoin trading rates, but also the convenience that you can do your other trades through the BOB app as well. Another update is that Router Protocol integrated BOB Gateway. So now BOB Gateway powers Bitcoin swaps under the protocol as the preferred BTC provider. This is super cool, and this just helps us get more users and essentially provide a service to people, even if you don't know you're using BOB Gateway. In a month from now, there's a high chance that when you swap your Bitcoin in your wallets and an aggregator, you will be using BOB Gateway even when you don't know it. Another interesting cool feature is that it actually has been around for a while, but we wanted to highlight it because we feel that it didn't get enough attention. BOB Gateway supports direct deposits and withdrawals from centralized exchanges. So this means if you have wrapped BTC on Ethereum and Arbitrum and you want Bitcoin on Binance, or you want stablecoins on Binance, whatever, you can directly deposit into your Binance account. You just need to provide your Bitcoin wallet address, where you want to receive the funds, or vice versa. If you want to deposit from a centralized exchange, so you have wrapped BTC, you have USDT or another asset on a centralized exchange, and you want to buy Bitcoin, you can just directly do this. You can fund the transactions, the swaps from your centralized exchange, and it will all be processed automatically. Super easy. And it's, again, the mission here is to save you steps on your swap. If you have assets on exchanges and you want to buy Bitcoin and put them on your ledger, for example, BOB is the best place and the cheapest place actually to do it. It's cheaper than Binance. It saves you a lot of time and convenience as well. And that's that with product updates. It's been a very busy month. We've added the cheapest swaps with the best routes in the market. We've added new chain support. We've added new asset support. And we've launched a special program for power users to help us build the next best Bitcoin consumer products. On the BOB community side, we have passed the first BOB acceleration proposal, BAP001. This ratified the BOB DAO charter and the mission of the BOB DAO to essentially accelerate Bitcoin DeFi development and help build out the BOB protocol and manage the treasury. It passed with 100% approval, so that's great. And this essentially is also the kickstart of BOB governance. And when it's now possible for you to either delegate your tokens to existing delegates who will then represent your opinion in BOB governance. You can register as a delegate yourself on the BOB delegate platform and advocate for delegations. You can now bring forward proposals in the forum for discussion for primarily, I think what probably makes most sense is directing treasury spend and where you think we should be allocating our attention. And definitely pay attention. There's a few proposals coming up that would definitely be interesting and worth paying attention to. Something completely different. We hosted a Bitcoin Pizza Day in Hong Kong that was highly attended. And this is one of the many events we're hosting on a global basis to make sure we build local communities in the most important crypto hubs around the world. Right now, on 22nd of May, on Bitcoin Pizza Day, we hosted it in Hong Kong. For those of you who don't know what Bitcoin Pizza Day is, Bitcoin Pizza Day is celebrated every year. And on this day, someone bought a pizza for a lot of Bitcoin that would be worth a lot of money today. And it kind of was one of the first really real world transactions that used Bitcoin, at least that was documented. And because, well, the amount of Bitcoin that was spent would be worth millions now, this is celebrated every year. Last but not least, we also hosted a Scribble DAO campaign. So thank you so much for your participation. There were 400 plus submissions and lots of engagement on social media around educating about the BOB mission and BOB products. So this was a really great success. We got a lot of new eyeballs, a lot of new followers, a lot of new community members through this initiative. And actually, yeah, one more thing to mention. We have revived the Bullish on Bitcoin show. We had a few really big guests on the show in the last month. Philip Zentner, founder of LeFi. We had someone from MetaMask team who leads essentially a lot of the product side at MetaMask, talking about how to actually bring the next billion users into crypto and the role of Bitcoin. And just yesterday, we had Luke from Chainlink CCIP talking about cross-chain and on-chain capital markets and the role of RWAs and Bitcoin's role in the future when TradFi is coming on-chain. We have more guests coming to the show from Lombard, XAUT 0, Layer 0, and many others. So if you're interested to learn about what's going on behind the scenes in crypto DeFi with no nonsense and a Bitcoin lens, definitely tune in and set a reminder. And that's it for this month. As you can see, we're very busy, heads down, building the best Bitcoin swaps product right now, while we are actively looking to release first consumer features and are looking to get early feedback from the BOB Inner Circle participants. So as a call to action, definitely check out the BOB Inner Circle program. It's vip.gobob.xyz, and set a reminder for the next community call next month. And it's always the second Friday of the month, or first Friday of the month, sorry. And if you have any questions, definitely ask them on Discord. We're always around and happy to answer. Thank you so much, and see you next month.